Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. Every fiddler he had a fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers three, says the old nursery rhyme. And going through the old recipe box from Mom, I found a recipe for Old King Cole Spinach. Very faint, and there's not much stage directions on this, but essentially it's a spinach souffle, and I have no idea why Old King Cole has anything to do with it, except maybe it's a nursery rhyme, and that was a way of getting kids to eat spinach. Who knows? But it's spinach and eggs and salt, and that's it. It's baked, so I'm going to make it, and I think it'll be really good. I'm going to add a little Parmesan cheese to it, though, too, and maybe an extra little bit of string cheese that I found left over in my drawer, because cheese makes everything better. And I'm not going to use fresh spinach, in keeping with the old-timey version of this recipe. It's frozen chopped spinach, and it's thawed, but it's still got a lot of liquid in it. And so after it thaws, you really gotta squeeze all that water out of it. And this might not be enough. I may need to add more. It calls for 2 cups of spinach, and this is probably not that much. So I may have to grab a little more and thaw it and strain it and squeeze it. But that's going to take a while to cook. And Old King Cole does not live by spinach souffle alone. So I'm also going to make Waldorf Salad, which is a real old-fashioned recipe named after the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, where the maitre d' Oscar Tschirky made it in 1896 for some sort of charity ball, and it's taken on a life after that. Essentially, Waldorf salad is apples and grapes and walnuts and celery and mayonnaise. There's lots of variations. I'm gonna raisins instead of grapes, or in addition to grapes, is one. People add chicken, make it a chickeny Waldorf salad, dates. Whatever, but I'm gonna sort of do a combo of that, and different colored things make it different, like green, like Granny Smith apples, green apples with green grapes gives it a theme, or red apples, red delicious apples with red grapes does something else. I'm gonna do sort of in a mix between. I have a Fuji apple and half of a Honeycrisp, but I only ate half of. So yeah, grapes, apples, raisins, walnuts, celery, lemon juice, mayonnaise, yogurt. Put all that stuff together. So I'm going to just sort of start prepping some of this stuff, because it's going to take a lot of prep to put this together. But fear not. Old King Cole Spinach and Waldorf Salad is a great vegetarian meal for merry old souls, no matter who they are. Wow. So walnuts are expensive, man. I got a thing. This cost $7 just for a little thing. That's how dedicated I am to my Waldorf salad. But it's important. So roughly chopped walnuts, all the chunks of the Waldorf salad, all the things essentially need to be about the same size. That's kind of the deal. So I got it all together here, and that's looking good. I have the apples, and they're starting to turn brown already, so I'm going to put a little lemon juice on them, not just for the brownage, but also because it adds a little flavor. Some recipes say don't use lemon juice, but I'm using it because what could be bad? with a little lemon juice, you know. All right, I think I got everything there. And yes, I did put a little bit more spinach because it really goes down to nothing, especially when you get frozen spinach. It's mostly water, so it really doesn't. You could certainly use. I mean, obviously, you could use fresh spinach, but it would have to be wilted down and chopped nicely, and also drained and squeezed really well, because you don't want a watery souffle. That would just make it really bad. So okay, I'm gonna say that's good for the amount of spinach necessary. But let's first just put this salad together so it can get chillin'. The apples, it's too much celery, and I sliced the celery fancily sideways on the bias diagonally to make it look pretty, and it's like about a half cup of celery, and grapes, beautiful, delicious, sweet red grapes, and these roughly chopped walnuts, maybe a little bit more chopped, because you gotta have a little bit of walnut in every bite of your Waldorf salad. That's what makes it. And yeah, in a dish, grapes and raisins. I have these beautiful, expensive, fancy, plump raisins too. So some of those, well, I'm just eyeballing it, which is, that's the best way. Okay, and as a dressing, usually it's just mayonnaise, but I'm going to use both mayonnaise and non-fat Greek yogurt for the flavor factor, as well as the less mayo-y thing. And I'm just going to see what it looks like when I mix it all together, and add more as and if needed. Okay, so I'm going to keep on working on that, but you got to get this souffle in the oven. So old King Cole will not wait for his souffle. So it calls for 2 eggs. I'm going to put in 3 because more is better. Plus these eggs are kind of small. So 3 eggs that I'm going to do the beating thing to with this deal. Add a little salt. Maybe a little more salt. Okay, that's good. Whew. Okay, so those eggs are beaten, and this Parmesan cheese, and like I said, I had this little piece of string cheese left, which is just essentially mozzarella. Can't be bad. Put that in. But first, the spinach. So yeah, this is all squeezed out. Break that up a bunch. Mix that with the eggs. Ooh, that looks interesting. Old King Cole would be very happy with this, I'm sure. And that little bit of string mozzarella in there. Let's get all this so the kids get their spinach. And I buttered a little casserole dish here. Although I wonder, let's see. Let's stir this together. This is really spinachy. That's like serious spinach and cheese. So I'm going to, it's too big a piece of cheese. I'm going to use this smaller dish, I think. Even though it might over puff the edge, I'm willing to take that chance. Hope that it puffs at all as a souffle. But I think it will. I think it'll be all right. Okay, so that's all good. Yeah, okay, so it's less like a souffle and more just like spinach and cheese and eggs. All right, spread this around. Who knows? Who knows? But I like spinach. I didn't used to. Like so many other things, so many other people, those childhood things that you hated, especially vegetables. You know, I love vegetables of any kind, mostly, and especially spinach. So, all right then. We'll see what happens. 350 for, I don't know, half an hour, something like that. And the Waldorf looks great, just the way it should. The Waldorf with apples and raisins, celery. So it'll chill for half an hour, and I think it'll be really good. Okay then, magically clean all this up. Okay. Smells really good in here. It smells savory. It smells like spinach and spices, and even though there's only salt in there and cheese. So this, but I'm very curious about what it's going to be like. This old King Cole spinach. So yeah, I was thinking it was going to be a souffle, but of course not, because there just isn't enough other volume. But it looks and smells terrific. This definitely has to way cool before it is dug into, but fortunately I can get started on the Waldorf here to serve this up on a bed of lettuce. Traditionally it's bib lettuce that this is served on, which I think is pretty delicate, more so than just green leaf. And this looks so nice. I mean, this to me screams Waldorf salad. That's all there is to it. Grapes, apples, celery, raisins. So the sweet apples are important. Like I said, I used Fuji and a little Honeycrisp, and the sweetness of the grapes certainly, and juiciness makes it different. But there are all these variations that are totally perfect. All right, I'm not going to eat it yet. I'm going to wait till the spinach cools so that I can experience them together. Okay. Yeah, we're ready now, that's for sure. I was still chilling this in the fridge, and I think maybe just a little bit of something, huh? Make it look nice. Get up there, parsley. Yeah, whatever. As if it didn't look nice before. And this, a dish, and a serving spoon, and a couple of forks, so I can eat all this. All right, so, interesting. This is sort of like, to me, a spinach, I don't know, baked pancake or something. It's extremely dense. Didn't puff with the egg. Maybe the cheese weighed it down. Maybe I didn't beat it. Or maybe this is the way it's supposed to be, but let's try it. It's got a great looking crust on it. Wow. That is an intensely spinachy, of course, thing, but it's very good. It's dry. Something in the souffle part of it needs to be better. Maybe the proportions are wrong. I think it should be puffier, too dense. Spinach, anyway, we'll save that for another day, but it tastes really good. It's like a thick spinach pie. Spanakopita without the stuff on the outside, the phyllo. And to soothe me, this Waldorf salad with a sweet apple, grape, bit of celery, a raisin, and of course some of those expensive walnuts. I think it's the textures and interplay of the sweet crunchiness of it that distinguishes Oscar Turkey's invention from the Waldorf Astoria in 1896. And old King Cole we have to thank for this spinach thing, which will be improved upon as the recipes go forward, because I think it could be great. But this on its own is really great and healthy too.